Hello everybody, it's your favorite uncle, protege, touch of gray, Yammie J. I hope all of you baby jams, yams, and squids had a good Thanksgiving. If you made it out on Black Friday, I hope you all just purchased more gear for you to wear and hopefully some frame sliders for your bike. You're gonna need them. If you didn't find what you wanted on sale, do not worry, Yammie J will save your day. Today, I am here to talk to you about electric bikes. Yes, those quiet and stealthy little bastards on the road that crack wheelies faster than a Busa boy on his way to the chrome shop. Electric bikes don't use gasoline, but instead use batteries and have to be plugged in and recharged. They're slowly gaining traction in the bike market, and they're definitely here to stay. Uncle Yammie is here to help you understand these new bikes and how they fit into the grand scheme of things. So, without any delay, here we go. What are they? If I'm about to drop something new for your virgin ears, then I guess I'm sorry. Motorcycling is taking a turn in a different direction. I won't say if it's good or bad, but simply, it is different. Motorcycles are now being offered as all electric. I'm glad we skipped the hybrid drivetrain stage and went from a gas-powered Corvette, skipped over the Prius, and ended up with the Tesla of motorcycles. That saves us all a huge headache. Electric motorcycles are full-sized bikes intended for daily street use. These aren't your dorm buddy's contraptions where he tried to put a tiny motor on a bicycle. No, these are the same size and shaped as the gas-powered counterparts and have enough power to contend with some of the best bikes in the industry. Unless you've been studying them or you've ridden one, you might not even notice an electric motorcycle if it passes you. Pros. One of the best ways to introduce a new technology without everyone running away is to mention the pros before the cons. So the first pro is going to be that, hey, it's electric, not the slide. Without having to purchase gasoline, costs can be lowered and you can charge your bike at home in your garage. No need to fight the pesky gas light every time you go for a rip, and the electricity normally turns out to be cheaper. Another pro is that with this channel, you can win a beginner bike. Uh-oh, did I just walk you into our beginner bike giveaway series? That's right. Yammie Noob is giving away 3, not 1 or 2, but 3 awesome bikes to 3 lucky winners. We have a Suzuki DRZ 400, a Kawasaki Ninja 400, and a Honda CBR 650F. Head on over to yammienoob.co to select a tier where you can be entered to win one of these bikes. If you come in on a Tier 1 or 2 subscription, you'll be entered to win immediately, along with access to the Yammie Noob Discord server. Tier 2 gets you submissions to the It Came From Craigslist series, so you can finally submit your friend's stretched out Busa to be seen and laughed at by the internet. Tiers 3 and 4 will get you even more entries to win, and you can even pick content for Yammie Noob to cover. Don't want to subscribe? No problem. Check out YammieNoobMerch.com, yes, .com, to check out our new designs on our merchandise. Remember, every dollar spent is an entry to win a bike. Okay, another pro, and probably the favorite amongst converted believers, is that of torque. Yes, torque, not the cheesy movie we've all seen a couple hundred times, but that thing that moves you from point A to point B and makes you smile. Torque! Electric vehicles, including motorcycles, have instant torque, whereas a gasoline-powered engine has to build or increase its power and torque output throughout the RPM band. Electric motors simply have it. By simply, I'm referring to a lack of back electromotive force at 0 RPMs, which allows an electric motor to have maximum torque at idle or while completely stopped. The best way to explain it is that as the electric motor spins faster, it generates a force known as back EMF, which reduces torque output. Think of it as a type of resistance. When you first turn on your dryer, the lights in your house dim as the motor pulls the most amperage and voltage, and the motor produces maximum torque. After a second, the motor will slow to its desired RPM. Zero emissions. For another pro for having an electric bike, you end up producing 0 or no emissions at all. This is better for the environment, your health, and with it comes a very quiet motorcycle. Hey, loud pipes don't save lives. You didn't know that? With 0 emissions, we have cleaner motorcycles, cleaner air, and a lot easier inspections. And to be honest, a lot less expenses too. Okay, cons. With every new technology comes a list of cons that we cling to and say, hey, that's why we don't want it, unless it was DVDs. Total honesty, kids these days won't know the struggle of renting a movie that wasn't rewound. Anyways, electric motorcycles have a few cons that are pretty much the whole reason why some riders don't switch to an electric over their gas-powered bike. The first con is that with electricity comes a very limited range. Instead of riding for 100 miles, then filling up at a gas station and riding even farther, the rider has to stop on an electric bike and charge it at a station. With it being powered by electricity, at some point the charge is going to run out or run down and a stop must be made. The average 100-mile charge for a Zero motorcycle is roughly 1 hour. I assume it's okay in a pinch, but when we as riders want to ride, waiting an hour might just be too much. A gasoline-powered bike can go as far as its gas tank lets it. Then it can be instantly filled back up, and you're back on your way. This can be the difference between getting caught in the rain or making it home, or making it to your destination or becoming stranded. Since electric motorcycles are relatively new, there isn't a large network of electric vehicle chargers, which can really hinder a trip that you're planning. This is a big factor for most riders and why they choose to stay with gasoline. Electric bikes are more of a commuting motorcycle, or one where the rider takes limited cruises around town. You simply cannot get the same amount of range out of an electric bike that you can with a gas bike. The second con is that batteries are heavy. As of today's technology, there's only so much weight we can put on a motorcycle to add mileage to its range. For a gas-powered bike, the bike becomes lighter as fuel is burned. On an electric bike, the batteries simply become depleted. Having a lightweight race bike can prove to be difficult because all that power must be stored somewhere. This ties back into having to charge the bike. A gas-powered motorcycle can have terrible gas mileage, but it can be refilled in a matter of minutes, not hours. The last of the cons is that the sound of the motorcycle doesn't exist anymore. Some riders buy their bikes specifically because of the sound it makes. Ducatis, Yamahas, and even Suzukis have their own unique sound to them, some being better than others. Sure, no one likes the sound of a GSX R750 with a Two Brothers slip-on. It's just obnoxious and loud. But an R1 with a full Yoshimura or Akrapovic system? That sounds a ton better. Have you heard a Panigale V4? It's beautiful. For the electric bikes, it's pretty quiet. Actually, really quiet. Not hearing the engine screaming at 14,000 RPMs as you leaned over at 59 degrees is an experience most riders won't trade for the world. On an electric bike, I guess you just silently lean over and hear the wind rush by you. For most riders, it won't be as enticing. Everyone has their preference for an exhaust system, except no one really has the preference of silence. Racing. Just like their gasoline-powered counterparts, electric motorcycles have their own form of racing. Known in the US as e-moto racing, the series is all about motorcycles that produce zero emissions. Both dealer-ready purchases and home-built bikes are allowed, with the restriction that they do have to be electric. Most bikes are converted sport bikes from previous years, retrofitted with an electric motor. MotoGP is even featuring a series known as Moto E-GP, which uses all electric motorcycles to race. There's still the same extreme lean angles and insanely fast flicks of the bike, but it's just a lot quieter. The bikes do make noise, but it really isn't anything compared to the sounds of gas-powered MotoGP motorcycles. Advances. Electric motorcycles are a necessary evolution of the two-wheeled hobby. It was bound to happen once cars started to become all electric, and it was really going to happen after Tesla came out with an electric car that outperformed 99% of the gasoline-powered market. Since electric motorcycle technology and the supporting infrastructure are still new, it's going to be a couple years before we start to see the kinds of improvements we want now. More miles ridden between charges, lighter bikes, and maybe even a sound more pronounced than the current electric one would all help to advance these bikes into popularity. Electric bikes are getting lighter, but materials used for the batteries, frame, and even forks are expensive, which incurs a cost to the rider. Aluminum, titanium, and of course carbon fiber are chosen for being lightweight. Since everything is still somewhat in a developmental stage, we can only wait to see what happens to the industry. Maybe we can get bikes that'll charge fully in under 20 minutes or ones that'll have range of 300 miles, who knows? Current brands and models available. Harley-Davidson's Livewire is an electric bike aimed at the younger crowd. It's guaranteed not to have that straight-piped Harley sound to it, and it does have an aggressive styling that says it's a Harley. The bike has 105 horsepower, roughly 146-mile range, and can be charged to 80% in under 45 minutes. Not bad. But it all comes with a price tag starting at $29,799, so it does have a Harley-Davidson price tag. It's a step in the right direction for the company, but only time will tell if the consumers will follow. The Lightning Strike LS 218 is an electric motorcycle that claims a top speed of 218 miles per hour, 200 horsepower, 168 foot-pounds of torque, and an average range of 100 miles. The bike has true sport bike fairings and an aggressive look, too. The only downside is that the cost of one of these is about the same as a Panigale V4 Special at roughly $40,000. That's pretty steep for an electric bike because most riders don't spend over $15,000 on a sport bike. Some of the most popular and promoted electric motorcycles come from Zero, a manufacturer who started in a garage 13 years ago but has now become a brand synonymous with electric motorcycles. With 5 models ranging from a naked to a supermoto, Zero is very ambitious with the market it's designing bikes for. For those commuting or looking for on- and off-road adventure, the Zero has you covered. The bikes retail around the $20,000 mark, which is a relief for some, while the used bikes from them are roughly half of that. Well, there you have it. Electric motorcycles. They won't be going anywhere for a while, and neither will your beloved gas-powered ones either. Just prepare yourself for seeing more of these bikes on the streets, and maybe one day you'll be buying one too. You never know. Do you ride an electric motorcycle? What's it like? Tell Papa Yams and Yammie J all about your quiet two-wheeled rides. I bet a lot of people really want to know what it's like to own and ride one of these bikes. Okay, thanks again for watching, and do not forget to subscribe. I will catch you guys in the next one. Fact: people illegally sell tapeworms for weight loss because they can grow up to 50 feet long. I don't know if that's ingenious, gross, or desperate. Goodbye.